because honestly, Michael, I'm a perfectionist. So everything you say, I take very literally. You know what? So when you were always saying how you don't want to see fair value gaps, the body's close outside, or you want to see it respecting the quadrants. Uh, I really liked how today you brought up the little shish kebabs and how you didn't mind that the bodies of the candle were just painting outside because they were really small bodies, and to you it was kind of irrelevant and they didn't really mean much. So that was a big thing for me technically, that now I know that that is permissible, that I can allow that in my trading and in my tape reading to occur.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hallmark right now with a lot of the PD rates I have that I haven't taught yet, and some of them, admittedly, I know you guys don't like to hear this, but I'm not going to teach all of them. And the ones that I keep close enough to me that it's just for me and my kids, they have similar signatures right now because of the volatility and the decoupling of everything that's going on. Like I can't stress it enough, and it sounds like a broken record. I know this to some of you, but if you're learning right now, every advantage that you can have in your favor is going to reduce the frequency and the list of opportunities for you to be participating in. And unfortunately, in today's climate, that's usually frowned upon because we're all supposed to know everything. We're all supposed to know when, what, how many, and when to get in, when to get out, and do it perfectly. And because I talk to my kids, because it's them as the audience, and you guys get to be part of it, I want them to be encouraged when they see things like today, like seeing things that I point out and say, look now, Caden, this is normally when dad looks at this stuff, this is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see a body outside of that, because what it does is it diminishes the likelihood of it being as precise as I would like it to be. Now, I have PD arrays that price can color outside the lines of, and they still work. But when there's an inefficiency, or if it's an order block, and I'm looking for them to show a sensitivity around the upper half or lower half of it, I kind of like demand that these things are in place before I participate, because I'm not just doing demo account trades because I'm a trader. In the public eye, I'm doing demo account trades because I don't want the trouble that comes with me enticing people to trade with real money. That's why I stay with this whole shtick of mine that I'm the demo baller. This is the way it is. But I know a lot of you are going to look at what I'm doing and what I'm teaching, and you're going to see it happening in your own hands. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to take the leap and I'm going to do this with my own account. And I'm going to learn because I feel like I got to do it. And this is the only way I'm going to learn. And I don't think that's true, but you're going to try it. So it would be poor. It would be poor form for me to spread this information and not bring out the details that help ferret out the things that make it better. And by me teaching what's permissible in price action, what's not permissible, um, I kind of expected some kickback tonight and tomorrow in the comments, probably the rest of the week, talking about how, but you said in this video at this minute marker that if it does this, you don't want to do it. Right. That's the optimal condition. If it doesn't do it, that's the best. That's the best. But how many things, let's do it this way. Not all of you here just do ICT stuff. Some of you do volume profile. You might not want to talk about it because you think I'm going to be mean to you and make jokes about it, and you're probably warming up to it. You can admit, if you're honest, that even that stuff sometimes in recent market activity, it's just like, wait a minute, it's not as good as I'd like it to be. Maybe you're a supply and demand trader and you're getting a lot of false signals because the markets are just simply saying, fuck you right now. That's what they're doing. So by me sharing things like tonight, having that little bit of a deviation outside of the levels that we'd like to see the body stay inside of, when it's something like that small little segment of price action that still by definition is the body, but what type of body is it? It's an insignificant amount of price action. So to me, I disregard that. So I'm glad to hear that you had that epiphany, that it encourages you. You'll see that if you go back through some price action in the last 3 months or so, you'll see it's in the lower time frames a lot, and it still provides the catalyst for the PD rate to perform as it should.
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely noticed it on like the 5 second time frame as well and everything like that. But thank you so much yet again. It was definitely groundbreaking for me to hear that. I do have another question, Kit, if you'll allow it. It's about yesterday's lecture.
Oh, absolutely, brother. You're crushing it today. Pretty please.
Yeah, I was re-listening to it. I wasn't able to make it, and you mentioned, Michael, that there's a man who marks out the opening ranges and the historical data on them the past 5 days, and with that, taking the highest high and the lowest low and doing a dynamic range every single day, you can get different gradient levels and different key levels. Uh, so with that, my interpretation is if you can do it on New York opening ranges, that means you can also do it on opening range gaps, end dogs, and end wogs, or anything else that you're kind of using to pull key levels off of. Now, are those key levels more, I want to say, influential than the regular opening range gap or regular New York uh, opening range key level because it's taking a wider area or more context, or is it just like another key level that you can add onto your chart and use?
Well, the aspect of it being key is that it lays over top of a gradient level. So it doesn't matter if it's the opening range gap on regular trading hours. It doesn't matter if it's the new week opening gap, if it's the new day opening gap. If you're using 5 of whatever those ranges you're using to give your highest high and the lowest low of the range that you're only going to operate inside of that canvas, you know what the highest high is and what the lowest low is in deference to whatever the highest inefficiency you're using. And we'll just say, for instance, the new day opening gaps. Okay, we're going to look back the last 5 new day opening gaps. Whatever the highest high is in the new day opening gap in the last 5 days, that's the highest of the range that you're considering right now. That's the highest point that you're focusing on right now. What's the lowest low of a end dog in the last 5 days out of the 5? Which one's the lowest? That's the lowest portion of the range. Now, what happens if it trades below that? You're going to sit on your hands. You're going to do the new math when a new day opening gap comes in, and if it's now giving you a range to work in, now you can trade. But you have a range to work within. Inside that range, every one of those ranges has a gradient level. And when it agrees with a PD array that forms over top of that during a time, like a macro or an opening range, now you have a key level. It's not a key level unless that criteria is there. If you're in the lower portion of that canvas that you defined, you're in a discount. So it would be more apt to provide setups on intraday where you can run to buy side liquidity or a premium inefficiency as a draw on liquidity, because in this range that you're defining, it's always going to be dynamic. It helps you frame that, yeah, I'm reminding myself that I'm oversold in this range based on algorithmic PD arrays, things that are going to be salient to future price action. It's going to draw to these levels again. They're pertinent. They're not just one and done and discard and throw it out the window because the gap's been used, the gap's been filled. It doesn't work that way. But by having this grid mentality, you now have framed out a canvas in which you're going to work. And if you're in the upper half of that, what does that mean? You're in a premium. So you're going to be more apt to find setups that run to sell side liquidity or a discount inefficiency as a draw on liquidity when a key level lines up to perform a short on it. So it's got to be time, price, and a gradient level.
Thank you so much for that clarification. That was great. I just assumed that if it was a gradient level pulling it from the opening range gap or end dog, it was automatically a key level. But thank you for the clarification. That really cleared things up for me.